What's up, Richard? Timmons here. Now, with the new film Send Help coming out this week, since it of course stars Rachel McAdams, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Rachel McAdams movies. Because who doesn't adore her? She's been nominated tons of times. She's always incredible. So here is my official top 10. All right, coming in at number 10 is the film Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga. Now, this was a comedy that premiered on Netflix during the pandemic, and it was directed by David Dobkin, who directed Wedding Crashers, and it stars Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. And follows like a personally close singers who of course are who has a given the chance to represent their country in you know to represent their country at the Eurovision contest here. And of course, the song that of course, one of the songs that Rachel McAdams sings, you know, Hughes Effect, of course, got nominated for for best original song at the Oscars. Of course, you got Will Ferrell, Pierce Brosnan, Dan Stevens. It was a really nice little film that I thought was very underrated. Like it mostly just came and went. It got pretty good good views during the pandemic, but obviously people were, we were all mostly stuck home and stuff. But it was still a really decent one. And Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams definitely showed off their singing chops really well. All right. Coming in at number 9 is The Vow. The Vow is a really nice little romance film where a car crash erases this woman's memory, who must relearn her marriage and rediscover love. And it stars Rachel McAdams and Channing Tatum. And Rachel McAdams was always pretty good when it came to like these rom com type films. Or granted, it's not rom com; it's more romantic drama. But it's still really nice little film that I think is well worth a watch here. Really, heartbroken, really sad throughout. The chemistry with Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams was terrific. Sam Neill was even in this. Tata Mazzani even pops up here, like before she became as big as she is now. Um, it is a really decent heartfelt story that I think is well worth watching. All right. Number 8 is the one that actually got her an Oscar nomination. It's the Oscar-winning film Spotlight. Spotlight is, of course, where investigative journalists uncover widespread abuse within the Catholic Church. And here you got Rachel McAdams, who plays Sasha Pfeiffer, who's a reporter driven by empathy and integrity. And she delivers like a really wonderful, powerful performance here. Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton, Liev Schreiber, some really good cast members. It is a really decent, wonderful film. Of course, it did win Best Picture at the Oscars. Well deserved there. Really good film, to say the least. Really love the reporting stuff here. McGowan really plays the part very well. It's she really does such a good job with this ensemble, and it's well worth watching. All right, number 7 is Wes Craven's Red Eye. Now, Red Eye is, of course, stars Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams, about a woman who is trapped on a flight with this charming stranger who turns out to be a real creepazoid here. And here you got McAdams, who plays Lisa Reisert, who's this resistant, resourceful character, and she really carries like the thriller perfectly here. Her on-screen chemistry with Murphy is really good. 2005 was a pretty solid year for McAdams, by the way. I got a couple of 2005 movies on this list that she did, and this was a really decent one. All right, number 6 is Doctor Strange. Now, she was barely in the last one, so I'm not really going to consider that one. But Doctor Strange, of course, here you got McGowan, who plays Dr. Christine Palmer, who's the surgeon and Strange's moral compass. Actually provides like emotional grounding and human stakes in the Marvel spectacle here. And she definitely was, has some really decent moments to here. Her chemistry with Benedict Cumberbatch was really decent. I thought she played the part very well there. And of course, she will go on to appear in the last one, where of course her character ends up getting married. So there's that. Whether we actually see her back for another in the MCU again, who knows? All right, number 5 is About Time. Now, About Time was like one of the few movies she did that include time travel. Of course, she did do Midnight in Paris. She also did do Time Traveler's Wife. This is maybe one of the better ones she time travel movies she did here. And I guess you say Doctor Strange that had time travel in it too. But About Time is of course from the same people who gave us Love Actually, and it stars Domino Gleeson and Rachel McAdams, Bill Nye. We're a man who can time travel, who uses his ability to improve his love life. And of course McAdams plays Mary, who's this warm, quirky, grounded character, and she really plays her with some understatable charm, and really wonderful performance here. Really, of course, this was actually one of Margot Robbie's earliest roles as well, too. By the way, so Margot Robbie popped up in this too. I really enjoyed it a lot. Definitely one of the better time travel romance movies there is. Domino Gleeson was great. McAdams was terrific. If you guys haven't seen it, give it a go. All right. Number four is Game Night. Game Night, of course, is from the same directors who gave us Vacation and Dungeons and Dragons. And here, of course, we're like a game night group gets pulled into a real life crime conspiracy as they think it's part of a game here. And of course, you got McGowan who plays Andy Davis, who's a hyper competitive, quick witted, and hilarious character here. And McAdams and Bateman really play off each other well. You also do got Kyle Chandler, Jesse Plemons is great in this movie. Really steals so many scenes. Jesse Plemons actually even talked that he'd love to do a sequel to Game Night, which I'm all for that. Lamar Morris, of course, from New Girl was also great in this as well. If you guys never seen Game Night, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's a really fun one. All right, number three is Wedding Crashers. Now, Wedding Crashers, of course, also directed by David Dobkin, stars Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn as a pair of wedding crashers, who, of course, crash weddings to meet women here until, of course, one of them falls for someone unexpectedly generally here. And, of course, Owen ends up, and, of course, obviously, Owen ends up really falling for, like, the McGowan's character because, of course, McGowan's is actually marrying Bradley Cooper's character who's, like, abusive and stuff. And McGowan's is really decent. She definitely is really charming here. Owen Wilson, of course, Owen Wilson and McGowan will go on to work together again in Midnight in Paris. They were great in that. But Wedding Crashers is a hilarious one. Definitely one of the funniest comedies that there. Really showcase, more of McGowan's comedic chops. Really good role there. All right. Number two is The Notebook. Now, 2004 was a great year for McAdams as well. But The Notebook, of course, starring Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, based on a book by Nicholas Sparks. Where, of course, like an elderly man played by James Garner reads the story of a passionate young romance that endured decades of obstacles here. And, of course, you got, like, McAdams, who plays the younger version of Jenna Rollins' Ellie Hamilton character, who's a spirit strong-willed woman who is torn with love and social expectations. And of course, Ryan Gosling, is in this. You have James Garner, who plays the older version of Ryan Gosling. It's a really nice, heartfelt romance film. Great, definitely one of the best Nicholas Sparks movies there is. The camera, of course, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams actually dated at the time. I still remember the MTV Movie Awards when they won Best Kiss, and of course, I still remember that time where Rachel McAdams went up and actually not kissed Ryan Gosling, kissed Ryan Reynolds because Ryan Reynolds actually presented the award there. I always found that to be hilarious. One of my favorite moments of the MTV Movie Awards, by the way. But anyway, yeah, The Notebook again, a really great film, and that's not the only film she did that year. Because my number one, that's where we get to my number one favorite. My number one favorite Rachel McAdams movie, you guys probably know it. I talk about it tons of times. It's always referenced plenty of times. That is Mean Girls. Of course, one of the best movie villain bully villains there is, Regina George, the one that really put her on the map here. She really played the Mean Girl perfectly, and obviously playing the iconic Queen Bee, charming and visually funny here. McGowan's really turn as Regina really takes into Into pop culture villain for the ages here, balancing comedy, one of the best teen comedies there is. Stuff she actually has to go through, and this is hilarious. You know, I mean, who just doesn't love Regina George? I mean, all due respect Renee Rapp, who of course also played Regina George. The best will always be Rachel McAdams, Regina George. She just plays a mean girl perfectly. Her iconic scenes with Lindsay Lohan, Lacey Chabert, Amanda Seyfried is great. It's just such a really wonderful performance in my opinion, and I think she actually got a MTV Movie one for her performance for favorite villain, so well deserved there. But yeah, Mean Girls is just the one that really put her on the map. Really, she did stuff beforehand. Like remember, she was in the Hot Chick. She did other stuff here and there, but it was really Mean Girls and The Notebook that really cements her into film stardom, and well deserved there. But that's pretty much it. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, Eurovision Song Contest. 9, The Vow. 8, Spotlight. 7, Red Eye. 6, Doctor Strange. 5, About Time. 4, Game Night. 3, Wedding Crashers. 2, The Notebook. And number 1 is Mean Girls. Now, obviously, there's other ones I could have included as well. Oh, let me see. Rachel McAdams. All right, look through her other credits. Of course, the Hot Chick I could have included. The Family Stone would definitely be my honorable mention. Married Life was okay. The Lucky Ones, State of Play, the Sherlock Holmes movies, Morning Glory, Passion. I was not too big with Most Wanted, man. Definitely not Aloha. That movie is horrible. That actually also had Bradley Cooper in it. Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. That was a really good one. Disobedience with Rachel Weisz. Another really one I could have included is Are You There, God Is Me, Margaret, which that movie came out of nowhere, and I did not expect to enjoy that movie as much as it did. It was a really nice little film there. She also does some TV stuff like, here on What If, here on SNL, here and there. Obviously, True Detectives is another really good one. But let me ask you guys, what are some of your favorite Rachel McAdams films? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Timmy Sire.